Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Thursday, May 14th, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day. I mention this each day, but for me, the most valid time to make your buying and selling, or for me to make my buying and selling decisions, is at the end of the day, in the last hour, and particularly in the last few minutes. And I mention this because the way that I view things is that during the day you have the algorithms and you have the day traders. They are battling it out. They are controlling the prices at the end of the day. Excuse me. You have the large financial institutions coming in. They're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people. They have the best technology, the best information, and they start placing their bets at the end of the day, and they move the price. They take the control of the price away from the intraday traders and the algorithms. And that is why I like to piggyback on what they're doing. I look at it as the smart money. So I like to piggyback what they're doing and make my decisions on my current positions based upon that. I did have one day trade today on Apple. I'll be sharing that with you as well. But thank you so much for coming. It's always nice to see everyone. I always look forward to seeing everyone in the group. I think we have a great group, nice little community. So thank you so much for coming here, spending time. I really do appreciate it. And I hope the channel is helping you learn some good trading and investing principles. Yesterday, near the end of the day, I realized I was chatting to myself for about 10 minutes. The connection on my on the live stream went out. I don't know how that happened. I think it's happened once before, so hopefully we will make it through today without that happening again. But if it does, you'll know what happened. I don't know what happened, but anyway, Dan is here. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Hey, Kamal, good chatting with you earlier. Kamal and I chat during the day on some trades. Kamal says a lot of names in the XLE, XOM have V1s today. Yep, those are in the energy sector. Gert is here. Nice to see you, Gert. Hi, Greg and all. Hello, Gert. Nice to have you. XLE and XLF. Right. Gert says, got stopped out of SDPI today, but still nice profit. All right. Well, good. Always good to have a profit for sure. So that's SDPI. Oh, SDPI. Boy. Gotcha. Yes, that was a nice profit. And I don't blame you at all for taking that off right there at all either. Lost the 200-day. All that kind of stuff, but what a great trade. I think that was the biggest trade I've seen on this channel so far to date. So congratulations. Frank is here. Good to see you, Frank. Thanks for coming by, my friend. Quad Racer is here. Hey, buddy. Quad and I had a lesson last night. It was 3 hours, was really good. I really felt like Quad Racer really started to lock in and kind of put everything together that I've been teaching him last night. So proud of you, my friend, and look forward to next week's call. Hey, Bacon Bandit, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. And if you talk to Duncan today, please give him my best. All right. All right. Well, interesting day today. That's for sure. The Dow was down. I don't know what it was down. 300 points or something at the low, maybe more than that. I didn't really see exactly, but it was down a lot. But we've had a big comeback today, definitely a big comeback. So the Dow's up 208. It's up about 0.9%. S&P is up right about even, one and a half, basically even right now. So that is underperforming today, and the SPX is up 10, up 0.36%. So red to green day today. So good to see that for sure. All right. Well, listen, this is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, get that out of the way. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, what methodology I was using, and then more importantly, how I'm going to manage the trades going forward. After that, some of you have been kind enough to share some of your trades with me. We are going to go over those and see how those are working out. Like Gert just showed us her, what was it? The one I just took off the board. So I can't remember the symbol. But anyway, she did really well on that. So that was good. Oh yeah, SDPI. So we're going to take a look at that. After that, I like to spend a few minutes talking about trading philosophy, trading psychology, good trading words of wisdom, something out of the technical, the actual entries, exits, all that kind of stuff, but more the bigger picture of trading. And I like to share some posts that I see on Facebook and Twitter that I think are helpful. So we'll go over that. Next, going to go down through my watch list. I'm going to take a look and see if I have an entry for today. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a new trade. First requirement is, number 1, I want to look for a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up. I look at each indicator like MACD and RSI, ATR channels, moving averages. I look at those as potential groups of buyers. And you will put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other groups of buyers as possible. So I look for indicators lining up. I look for signals lining up. In other words, I look for groups of buyers lining up. Then if I do have see a setup that has a confluence or a combination of indicators, I want to make sure it has a good risk to reward ratio based upon valid resistance above me, based upon valid support below me. And I want to make sure that ratio is at least 2 to 1. I want to have at least 2 times to the upside for the reward compared to the 1 time to the downside for the risk. And then number 3, I always want to keep in mind not to have too many highly correlated positions. Like, I don't want to have multiple healthcare stocks because they're generally going to move up and down all together as a group. So I want some diversification in there. And lastly, I want to make sure I do not have too much of my account at risk. Even if I have perfectly uncorrelated positions, I do not ever want to put more than 60% of my capital to work. And that's maximum. Doesn't mean I have to be 60%, but that's in the best case scenario where I have lots of entries. That's the maximum I'm ever going to put at work. So I'll go down through the list. I'll look for those 3 requirements. If I find something at the end of the day, I'll go ahead and place the order near the end of right before the close, after the market closes. If you have any questions, happy to take a look. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, happy to clarify anything that I may not have been clear on. Also, if you'd like me to give you my opinion on any stock charts, any setups, I'm happy to do that. And then if there are any stocks that you would like me to take a look at before the market closes, if you think it would be helpful for you or for the group to get my opinion, go ahead, put them in the chat, but please put a star by them so I know they're time sensitive. And then after the market closes, if you don't mind, after the market closes, if you have any changes on your stocks, on your entries or new entries, please let me know then. It takes the pressure off if I can do it after the market closes instead of trying to do it while the market's still open. All right, so that's the plan for today. Hope that makes sense. And I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. So hang tight, please. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, got that out of the way. Frank has a poem for us. Thank you, Frank. What the market can't stand is uncertainty. Try not to get caught in a trade inadvertently. Good news and bad news, a stock quickly digests. It doesn't take much for the price to retest. Ah, man, so good. Always so good. What the market can't stand is uncertainty. Try not to get caught in a trade inadvertently. Good news and bad news, a stock quickly digests. It doesn't take much for the price to retest. Excellent, Frank. Spot on as always. That's just so good. I am always so impressed by this. I'm telling you, I'm not blowing smoke either. I mean, to make a poem, to me, seems very difficult, but to make it so spot on and relevant is Amazing. Scatty, hey Scatty, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Hi Bob, good to see you. Hello everyone. Miko, hey Miko, what's going on? Good to see you. GM, hello all. Hi Greg. Hey GM, how you doing my friend? And Tesla. All right, well let's look at Tesla real quick then. Okay, so, Tesla's back in the value zone, which is at least one good thing. It is moving sidewards, which is another good thing. I don't see anything here to buy yet. One thing, and Andrea, if you're out there, and Quad Racer, yesterday we had that big bar down. So from a Fibonacci standpoint, you see today how we've had a rally back up against that bar, but we're just right there like a glass ceiling right over our head, right at the 50%. So that concerns me a little bit about that. GM exited Amazon. Okay, well, good. Yeah, it wasn't wanting to go down. It's actually been pretty strong here the last couple days. Glenn says, hey Greg, still in work, sold 50% of CRM with open below 10 EMA. Will sell rest if it closes below the 20 EMA. All right. Good. So that's work. Yeah, good. Hey, Steve Burns, good to see you. Appreciate you being here, my friend. Always an honor, always a privilege to have you here, Steve. Thank you so much. It's so great to have Steve in the chat. I mean, really, it is just amazing. It's just a real great thing. But thank you. And yes, you are right. Volatility is back. Hence the VIX, right? Going up. But yeah, we were in that nice kind of up move. Just moved up and up and up and up and up. And I was starting to scratch my head. But now the world makes sense again as the volatility comes back into the market. All right. Karen, hey, good to see you, Karen. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. And David, hi, Greg and all. Hi, Dave. Good to see you, my friend. Dave was one of my first viewers way back when, so I appreciate that, Dave, for sure. All right. Well, let's. GM says I still need SPY to retest 277. Well, we're not there yet. We are not there yet. All right, let's go through the trades here, my particular trades, and then we'll get to your trades. So, Chewy. I did buy Chewy back on the 12th of May. I bought it. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We had this really nice kind of coil movement here. We had 1 day spiking down, trying to break to the downside and immediately reverse back up. Those are the kind of things that I like to see. I did buy it here at 40.55. Yesterday it moved up. I did hit one profit target. When the price moves up my way, I like to phase out, not the whole position, but a partial position as the market moves up. For me, it takes a little heat off me because I'm reducing my position size, helps me stay in upward trends longer. And if it does reverse, then I'm reversing with fewer shares and it helps mitigate the loss. So was up earlier today. Today it is down 52 cents, still up on the trade, still holding the 50 RSI. If it loses the 50 RSI today, I will go ahead and just exit this trade. But so far, it looks okay. So far, it's profitable. So happy with that. J&J, well, Lee, look at this. Similar trade to Chewy. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We had really a lot of sideways movement. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I have been looking at this, just waiting for an entry. Yesterday, got the entry with the V1. Bought it here at 147.20. I bought it right about the halfway of the washout bar. So today, this is a pretty easy stop for me. Essentially, if it closes under my entry, I will get out for a small loss. If it holds above, I will keep it. Right now, it is up 2 cents over my entry. So as it is here right now, right this second, I will keep this trade. SPY. All right. World famous SPY trade. Real quick. I buy the SPY every day at the close. I sell it first. I hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. This is based upon a long-term backtest approach by Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. two options with this approach that they've tested every day since 1993. First option, buying the SPY at the open, holding it through the day, selling it at the close. If you would have used this approach every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9%. However, if you use the opposite approach, which is what I use, buy the SPY at the close, hold overnight, take that overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning, you would have gained a positive 634.2% return. Past performance is no guarantee of future results, and that is true for any approach, any trading approach. You never know if it's going to continue to work. But the blue line is the buy in the after, buying at the close, holding overnight, selling the first thing the next morning. The orange line is the buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. You can see there's a clear difference in these two approaches. The winning approach over time does very well, but there are drawdowns, and I have gone through a drawdown this year. 2019 was great. 2020 started off horrible, but it's come back pretty nicely here. I'm glad I stuck with it. That being said, I did buy SPY at the open yesterday at 281.60 and sold on the gap down. So the last couple days had a small loss from here to here. Also had a small loss from here to here, but had some nice wins over here. But, you know, I just look at this trade as a long-term trade that I always hold, but I'm always holding it overnight instead of during the day. That's essentially what it is. It's a long-term hold that I only hold overnight and not during the day. All right, I'll buy this again at the close today and sell it first thing tomorrow morning. Silver has been a really nice trade. I bought silver when the 5 EMA crossed over the 20. Bought it back here on May 7th. Bought it at 14.25. 520 does backtest well with SLV. Nice thing about crossover trades is that if you can catch a really nice big trend and stay with it a long time if you choose, but if you're wrong, it gets you out quick. And that's really what profitable trading is about. It's about having small wins and potential small losses and potential large wins. So again, I bought it at 14.25. I hit a profit target the next day. I did hit one today. Ooh, 14.83. Let me check my account. Did it go off yet? No, it did not. Look how close I came to it. 14.83, and it got to 14.83, but mine didn't fill yet, unfortunately. Dang it. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to quibble over 2 cents. So I'm just going to. There we go. I'm not going to quibble over 2 cents about hitting a profit target, right? Okay. 14.80 is where I got out. Okay, so 2 profit targets on that. That's been a really nice trade. Nice big move up. We moved up, we moved sideways. We had this kind of a bull flag, higher consolidation bull flag, and we broke right above it today. Twitter. All right, I did buy Twitter back here on the 7th of May. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We had some nice sideways movement. We had a spike down, reversal back up. So we had a false breakout of the previous day's low, reversal back up. Immediately went up nicely the next day, hit 2 profit targets, then moved sideways. Last couple days have come down. I did hit 1 profit target yesterday right here before the big sell-off. My stop here is a close below halfway of this washout bar, basically 27.91. Earlier in the morning, we were below it, definitely below it. And now we are back up above it. And it did form a V1. I wouldn't take this just because this bar was too large, but I'm still in it from a previous trade. So really nice to see this moving up. So it looks like I will be keeping this right now. And then I did have a day trade today on Apple. And in case Andrea and Quad Racer are listening, This is a 5-minute chart. We came into the value zone. Then we had this big up bar. And you know, when I have a big, strong up bar to the upside, if it does pull back, it should hold at the 50%. So it held at the 50%. It also held at the 50 RSI. So that gives me two confluences. Then it moves sideways. Didn't stop me out, moved sideways. We know about sideways motion. Sideways motion will generally break to the upside or the downside. I was fortunate enough in this case that it broke to the upside. I did get out, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes later, I did get out. We had this bearish engulfing bar to the downside. We had a V1 to the downside, and I thought, well, that's a nice enough trade. So I did get in at 304.82, and I got out at 305.59. So pretty nice trade, right? I didn't get all of it. It kept moving, but I just have to stick with my plan, and that was my plan, and it worked out nice. And now we're rallying. We're rallying again. So all right, those are my trades, but the one I'm really going to watch here is Chewy. If it closes below 50 RSI, I'll get out. Johnson & Johnson, as of now, I'm in. It's holding above my stop. SPY had the overnight loss. We'll buy that again today at the close. Silver, great trade on silver here. Oh, okay. I thought that looked a little weird. All right, with the two profit targets there today, and then Twitter is back positive, so that's all good stuff. All right, now let's take a look. Bing He did buy ABT back here at 93.80 on the 7th of May. Initially went up nicely for him, but then it rolled over. It's been down and down and down, but at least well off of its low. So Bing He, if you're out there, buddy, and there's any change, you just please let me know, okay? All right, clear winner for today is Kamal. Kamal bought silver, same trade that I used. He based it on the SLV crossover that I used, but he bought AGQ instead of SLV, and AGQ is double leveraged silver. So he bought it here back on the 7th at 21.39. Moved up nicely, sideways movement, and huge day today is up 5.37%. So really nice trade, Kamal. CRM, okay, Glenn. So Glenn bought CRM at 166.75, rode it all the way up here. Man, what a skyrocket, right? But then moved sideways, and it's been down the last couple of days. So it looks like he's right about back to even. So if there's any changes there, Glenn, let me know. Work, we looked at Glenn's trade earlier. He bought it here 28.25. He did take some off this morning, it sounds like, but that's up nicely, up 4.67% today. And then Nathan, I don't know if Nathan is still in this Tilray trade. He bought this right here before earnings at 8.03. And then they kind of disappointed on earnings and it went down. So that is about it. Looks like we're really rallying into the close here. That's great. Okay. Let me check something real quick. All right. GM says, I think we'll retest lower at close or will be buy tomorrow. Could be. We will have to see what happens, right? Hey, Marco, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a nice evening. GM says, do you buy SPY in cash or options? In cash. Kamal says, Exxon, XLE, GS, XLF, USO. Yep, we're going to be looking at a lot of those in just a minute. MA says, hey, all special thanks to the APT. APT. Whoa. Holy smokes. I would guess so. I would guess so. Wow. Do you have that? Fantastic. Hey, Bing He, good to see you. Glenn says, Greg, I cut position on CRM, not work. Oh, I got them backwards. So work, you kept. CRM, oh, got you, when it opened below the 10-day. Gotcha. All right. So that's out of there, or let me look back. Oh, you sold 50%. Okay. 10-4, 10-4, roger that. All right. All right. Make sure we want to get those all taken care of. Wow. Nice day. Nice big day today. Didn't start out that way for sure, but it's turned into a good day. Dirk is here. Hey, Dirk. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here, my friend. All right. So listen, before we go down through my watch list, before I start taking a look at a potential new trade today at the end of the day, using my 3 requirements, right? Look for a combination or a confluence of indicators. Make sure you have a good risk to reward ratio based upon legitimate resistance above you, support below you, and number 3, make sure you do not have too many highly correlated trades. I like to spend a few minutes here in the middle of the podcast talking about trader psychology, talking about good trading words of wisdom, talking about trading philosophy. I go through Facebook and Twitter each day on some channels that I follow, some really great channels that put out some really good content and sayings that are helpful. And this one comes from Sleek Options on Twitter, @Sleek Options. I read this and boy, I really resonated with this because I have had this conversation with myself a lot. We tend to wait patiently when in a loss, but rush and exit when we're in profits. Why? Fear in both cases. I mean, have any of you gone through this? I mean, it's so true. You know, back when I first started trading, I was patient as can be as long as I had a loss. Super patient, no problem, didn't worry about it. But when I had a gain, that feels good, right? You want to just take that gain. You want to hurry and take that gain. Well, that's completely the wrong approach to trading. And I don't know why we're wired as humans like that. But, you know, there's an old saying, be patient when you have a winning trade and be impatient when you have a losing trade. But here, what Sleep Options is saying is that we're super patient when we are in a loss, but really impatient when we're in a profit. We have to be the opposite. We really have to be the opposite. Be patient when you're in a gain and you have a win. Be impatient when you have a loss. It's as simple as that, but it's hard to do. I get it. Fear in both cases. You know, I might add to this hope. I think you're patient in a loss because you're hopeful, and you're also fearful because you don't want to take a loss. But you know, when you have a gain, be hopeful. When you have a loss, be fearful. So thank you for that, Sleek Options. Appreciate that. And I hope that helps everyone. All right. Kamal, choose wisely. Oh, how about that? Like that? There you go. Thank you, Kamal. So yes, choose wisely today. I don't know who Diana Cooper is, but I appreciate that she put it out there because these are just 3 words that have a lot of value to them. We need to choose wisely every day. We need to look for confluences, combinations of signals. We have to make sure that we have a good risk to reward ratio. We have to do it, right? And we have to make sure we don't have too many correlated positions. So I put this up here most days, unless I forget, to remind me, Greg, choose wisely, and for everyone else out there to please choose wisely today. All right, let me do a little quick overview at current positions before I get moving. All right, Chewy down a little bit today, but come on now. Let's go a little green for everybody. That would be good. Johnson kicking butt. Nice. So it looks like I will be holding that. SPY. Wow, man. What a big reversal. Look at this V1. Boom. Silver's still doing good. Twitter, it's doing great. You know, one thing I want to point out here on Twitter is, I was talking about this last night when I was teaching, but here's a V1, right? It's not a valid V1 in my opinion, but it's a V1. Here's a low. We wash out the low, go back up. That's good from a single bar's perspective. We washed out the previous bar, went up. But do you see from a group of bars perspective, do you see how here was a low down here? And do you see how today we went under it and back over it? That's called the false breakout. So we have a false breakout from this range, and we also have a false breakout from yesterday's low. These are both really good confluences. And I'm in the trade, so I'm going to stay in the trade, but I did want to point that out. And then Apple, I really don't see anything there. Okay, here we go. So again, Apple, as I just mentioned, I don't see anything here. It is a good sign that we did bounce off the 10-day. A little too high for me to buy up here. Ideally, I just want to be patient, wait for it to come back down here in the value zone. It may not get down here. I don't know. It may not get down there. But that is how I trade, right? That is my plan. You know, my thesis on trading is that when you get above the value zone, you're going to come back into it because stocks are mean reverting most of the time. So, you know, I don't want to buy on the move, big moves up. I want to buy the dips in the value zone. Adobe, also back in the value zone. Again, anything above the 1 ATR channel, I consider overvalued. This is what Dr. Alexander Elder taught me. You know, mean reversion, whatever is doing mean reversion, whether it's stocks or anything else, whether, you know, we go above the norm, back to the norm. We go below the norm and then back to the norm. And this is the same thing here. We're above the norm, we're above value. Now we are back to the mean. And so this is good. We're above the 1 ATR channel. We're back in the value zone. 2 requirements. Now I just need a little bit of sideways motion and a false breakout to the downside and reversal back up, or in other words, a V1 or a V2. Amazon's just been hanging out here, right here in the value zone. We had a bit of a V1 yesterday. I didn't like the lower high, but is up a bit today, but not participating that much, really, is it? Boeing. Well, again, this is one of those that I was just talking about where, look, 2 things are happening here. We have a V1. Today we washed out yesterday's low, closed above day one's. That's good. We also had a false breakout to the downside from this previous range, going down, reversing back up. Now, just because we have that doesn't mean I'm going to take the trade, right? I mean, we still have the 1 ATR channel above us. We're at about a 40 RSI, so the risk to reward doesn't seem exceptionally great. MACD is positive. I mean, it's fine. It's good. Let's look at the weekly. The thing I like about the weekly is the sidewards motion, right? This coiling up here. We know that the inside bars and bars that move sideways will eventually break either to the downside or the upside. And if we choose the wrong way, then we get out quickly. But if we choose the right way, then hopefully we'll stay in for the longer term. But this just isn't enough for me today. Alibaba up a little bit today. I don't see anything there. Let's see. The 5 is 199.93. So the 5 is under the 20. So if we have a cross back over in the future here, I will go ahead and buy that because we untriggered, meaning the 5 crossed below the 20, and now if it closes back over, 520 is a good back test on Alibaba. Berkshire Hathaway, man, this one just does not want to go green, does it? It just does not want to go green. Working on a V1 here, but got denied at being underneath the negative third ATR channel. That's acting as resistance above it. So what I've really been waiting for on Berkshire is just a bounce off the 30 RSI, a deep dip buy. Beyond Meat down a little bit, moved up nicely, but now we're starting to move sideways, pull back into the value zone. Here's a nice confluence of the 200-day and in the value zone. That's why I had that line there, I suppose. Right in here is where I would be looking. Another possibility would be right about here. Here was the previous high. Once we break above that previous resistance, then it should act as support. So maybe down in here, maybe at the 200. Caterpillar, nice V1 bullish engulfing bar to the upside, but that's about all it has. You know, if it had come off the 30 and over the 30 or had a double bottom with the bullish divergence or something, I might be interested, but that's really not enough for me. Carnival Cruise, like a lot of the charts, nice reversal here, working on a V1 back in the value zone, but no sideways movement. I would be taking a V1 just into downwards motion. I want to take a V1 when there's sideways motion. The Dow V1 bounced off the 50 back in the value zone, but same thing, right? We had strong down moves. I'm not surprised we have a bounce. Think about dropping a ball off a building. If you drop it off a tall building and hits the bottom and bounces, it will bounce up, but it's not going to bounce all the way back up, right? It's going to bounce up a portion. And that's kind of where Fibonacci numbers come in. Is it going to bounce up as high? I don't know, but that's what I feel like it's doing. But who knows? What do I know? But it's not a signal for me. Walt Disney, nice reversal, nice V1 back in the value zone, but same issue. Have these two large days in front of it, so I can't get involved. Etsy down a little bit today. I'm shocked to see Etsy red, just too high. Facebook down a little bit, is coming down into the value zone. I'd be very happy to buy Facebook with a bounce off that 200-day or a V1 or V2 in the value zone. Gold's big day. Don't see anything there. Google bounce off the 100-day in the moving in the value zone, which is not too bad, right? Definitely could be worse. Better buying here than up here. You could use the 100-day moving average as your stop. That would give you a good stop, small stop if you're wrong, and maybe if we go back and test up here, might give you a good reward. But me personally, I'd like to buy it here at the 200-day moving average or see some sideways motion. Goldman Sachs, big V1, rejection of the 50-day. That's all positive, but negative, we had a rejection of the -1 ATR channel, which is above us. So, you know, I like the confluence. Quad Racer, if you're listening, we were talking about confluences of stops yesterday. Well, this is a V1, so halfway of the washout bar would be a good valid stop, but you also see how the 50-day moving average coincides right with the halfway. That's what I was talking about. A confluence of not indicators, not just for the entries, but a confluence of support. So this is up nicely. It doesn't really fulfill my parameter, so I'm going to pass. Home Depot. This is an oops, by the way, when you gap lower or reverse back up, but it's up at the second ATR channel. You know me, I like to buy in the value zone. IBB, another good example of moving up and then coming back into the value zone. Just because we're in the value zone doesn't mean I can buy, but now I'm starting to pay attention and look for a V1 or a V2. Intel is up slightly today. Nice V1, rejection of the -1 ATR channel, but you have a whole confluence of indicators right here in your way. So I don't see anything there. Russell 2000 down today. I don't see anything there. Oh, say it isn't so. Johnson & Johnson is now negative. So remember, my trade on this, talk about the best risk to reward ever, right? basically I buy it at 147.20. If it closes below 147.20, I get out, even if it's 147.19, or if it's above, I keep it. So I'll have to watch that one. Now it's up a penny. All right, good. CarMax, like a lot of bars today, big reversal here with the V1, but I don't like the big downward motion before it. Coca-Cola has been really struggling. I don't see anything there. I'd be looking for that 30 RSI. Lockheed Martin, boy, it was fooling around with that 200-day and then just boom. So it's 39.95. I'd be looking for a dip buy at the 30 RSI. MasterCard, ooh, up nicely today. V2, here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Looks like day 3 is closing above day 1's close. However, day 1's bar, too big, larger than 1 ATR. So I'm not going to buy that. Microsoft, third time's the charm. McDonald's Corporation, V1, but rejected the 50. Merck, dang, you know, I was looking at Merck and Johnson & Johnson yesterday. Those were my two. I guess I should have gone with the Merck trade, right? This one did much better, but oh well, that's how it goes. We were below the 1 ATR channel. Now we're back in the value zone. I'm just looking for a pullback now and looking for a higher low V1 or V2. That will be my place. Microsoft down 88 cents today, but definitely bounced off its low in the value zone. Right? Always better to get Microsoft in the value zone than above, but I would consider, you know, we came into the value zone. We have 1 day of sideways motion, which is good. Just looking for another and then look for a trigger. Netflix, working on a V1 to the downside with the rejection of the 1 ATR channel. See, here's day 1. Then today we went higher than day 1 and looking for a close below yesterday's close if you were so inclined to short. Let's look at the weekly on this. Pretty high up in the weekly here. Nothing that really stands out at me, but MACD is negative. We're still above the 50, so a lot of conflicting signals. And if you have a lot of conflicting signals, it's probably better just to pass on the trade. Nike, V1, but like a lot of other things, it's a V1 into a pretty strong down move, so I don't want that. Philip Morris, I would be looking to buy Philip Morris if we could get a test of the 30 RSI. It got in the low 30s today, or mid 30s, but you know, I'd like this to see this go under the 30 and under the 30 ATR channel, negative 30 ATR channel, and then back over. Let's look at the weekly. Well, look, we went from the low to the high. Let's take a look and see where that 50% retracement would be. Oh, look at that. We are right there. Almost exactly right there. Oh boy, what did I do? But just one more time, we made a low, we went to a high, a pullback is what I was expecting. It is holding about halfway from here to here, right here. So I like that on the weekly, but on the daily, I still need a trigger, and there's no trigger there. PayPal down a touch today. Nothing there. The Qs had a nice little bounce in the value zone, but nothing enough for me to buy. Silver, of course, had this nice silver trade with the 520 cross, hit the 2 profits today. SPY, big reversal. I'll be buying this again today at the close, but I did take that overnight loss. Teladoc. Don't really see anything there. TLT, dang, well that bounced right at the 3rd ATR channel, which again, 92% of prices tend to bounce at the 3rd ATR channel. Strangely, right? We are back in the value zone. I wouldn't buy it now. I'd wait for a pullback. People that bought here, they're going to be looking for any reason to sell here when it gets weak because they have a nice profit. So just a little bit of a pullback here. Let those people sell out and then look for another group of buyers to come in here with a higher low V1, V2 in the value zone is what I'd be looking for. Tesla hanging out in the value zone, but nothing. Twitter I have, that's up pretty nice now. Just be waiting on that. Boy. This one started to tempt me because we bounced close to the 30 and we went under the negative third ATR channel, over the third ATR channel. If we look at it on the weekly, we are testing this low here, or we got very close to testing the low. I just can't bring myself to buy it yet. I want to see a rejection of the 30 RSI before I can really get involved. UNG, nothing there. UNH, big V1 here, V2 here, excuse me. But this went down so far and this went so far up that my stop down here is, it's pretty far actually. Let's look at the weekly. You know what? I gotta say, that one is tempting with this sidewards motion and the one down. I think I am definitely going to have to consider that now that I have a little closer look at it. Earlier this morning I didn't catch that. So let me quickly do some numbers here. Okay. And okay. That one's possibility. Second possibility here is USO. We were below the value zone. We came into the value zone. We've had all this sideways motion. Yesterday we attempted to go down, washed out the previous day's low. Today, back over, valid V2, valid higher low V2 in the value zone, and cherry on top, closed above the 10-day moving average. If I take this trade, my stop will be a close below halfway of the washout bar. And my initial profit target would be up here like 50 RSI. So it does give a good risk to reward. So I do like those two. VIX, woo, look at that big reversal. Looks like we're going to lose the 50 RSI. Big reversal was up big, so nothing there. Verizon, I don't see anything. Walgreens, V1, did we test the 30 RSI? That's the question. Didn't go under it though. Walmart, no. Energy, V1 in the value zone, but you guys know me, I prefer to have some sideways motion. I mean, look at USO comparison. See the sideways motion and then the attempt to go down and reversal back up. Compare this V2 to, or V1 to like this one here. No sideways motion, just down, 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 up. And like energy, right? Yes, it's in the value zone, but no sideways motion. XLF. You know, I know these look tempting, but I'm just not going to do it on XLF. X real estate. Utilities. This one's a little better because we do have some sideways motion here and a stab down and reversal back up and a false breakout from this low over here. Healthcare and Zoom. So the ones I'm looking at right here, right this minute, are going to be UNH. False breakout from this low, sideways motion as well, move back up. It would have to close above. It would have to close above there like so. All right. And then USO does look pretty good with the V2. So me personally, I like UNH and I like USO as long as UNH continues the trigger. I wouldn't be surprised to see UNH come back here to that halfway, but the stop on this one would be halfway, the washout bar right about there. So does that, what's going on? Higher range here, it definitely could break out. So yeah, so that's what I like right now. Chewy looks like I'm going to hold. Johnson & Johnson looks like I'm going to hold. Silver's kicking butt. Twitter is kicking butt. Miko says, Greg, thoughts on GD and SNA? Yeah, I like GD. I like GD because we had this big up bar, then we came back down, and this V1 is testing, looks like it's closing above the 50 RSI, the 50-day moving average, and the halfway retracement of this large up bar. Yeah, I do like General Dynamics. I do like that, and it gives a really clear stop about halfway of this washout bar, which would also be this clump of moving averages here as well. Yeah, nice. Yeah, Snap-on looks pretty good as well. I mean, look, we came into the value zone, we made a lower high, but then we washed out that low with the nice V1 bearish engulfing bar. That one's pretty sweet, I gotta say. That one is pretty sweet. Let's look at the weekly over here. Nothing spectacular on the weekly, but that is one heck of a bar for sure. And we washed out this low, and we washed out the previous day's low. So false breakout to the downside, V1, bearish engulfing bar, close above the 50. As a matter of fact, you know what? I like SNA better than I like UNH, to be quite honest with you. So let me see. Let me run the numbers here. All right, I have 7 minutes. I have to keep that in mind. Let me just make sure I did the numbers right. Yep, I did. Yeah, I like that very much. PAAS. I like that it's consolidating. I like that it's consolidating, but it's not really doing much. I don't really see a trigger there. Hemigal, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. I have only joined in recently and don't know what you are referring to with V1. Can you explain briefly? You know, Hemigal, in the description of this video, I have links to different lessons that I teach on YouTube. They're totally free, but I don't have time right this second. But if you go in the description, look for the lesson that talks about V1, V2 entries, and I do a whole hour on it in detail. So click on that, watch that, and I think it will explain the whole thing. But I just don't have time to really explain that right this second. I apologize. Maybe I can do a little bit after when the market closes. Yeah, Glenn, it is rejecting the 50 EMA, but on the other hand, it's still holding above the 50 RSI. Let's see how oil's doing here. Oil looks like it's going to trigger I'm just a little concerned about UNH, how far that stop is down there. SNH gives me a much more defined stop, and I like the bullish engulfing bar as well. All right, I better get to work. All right, first of all, I'm going to buy USO. I have to trade this into account, so okay, USO is done. Okay, there's SNA. Okay, that's taken care of. Man, congratulations, Kamal. Look at this. Look at this, everybody. 5.74% on this AGQ trade. Whoa. Monster. Monster, monster. Okay, I'm buying SPY at the close. Chewy. Still holding the 50. Johnson & Johnson. Starting to fade here at the end. So I am definitely going to have to watch this here at the end, and right now it is 3 cents above where I need to, where I can hold on to this trade. Boy, it is right there, isn't it? Like just right there. I'm just going to have to watch that like a hawk. Now it's under. Interesting. So as of right this second, I would have to get out with basically a completely break-even trade. Chewy, Johnson & Johnson, SNA, USO. Look like it's holding. 1 minute to go. Looks like it's going to be okay. Boy, what a rally. What a rally, what a rally. All right, that's it. All right. So let's take a look. See here. What did I do? I bought SPY at 284.97. I bought SNA at 123.52, and I bought USO at 21.49. All right, so let's fix these up here. That was a bummer loss on the SPY, but that's how it goes. 284.97. Bump, just like that. Sell that first thing tomorrow morning. SNA, I bought at 123.52. So far, a good start on that one. You never know. 123.52. And thank you for pointing that out, Miko. That was very nice of you. This is not something that I watch all the time. There wasn't as much on my watch list today. And then USO. Got that at 21.49. All right. Oops. 21.49. Like so. All right, there we go. So listen, I am going to get to everyone other's questions and see what, I know they've had some adjustments on their trade. Before I do that, just real quick, I just want to put in my quick little daily plug, let everybody know that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have been trading for 24 years. I have studied with 4 excellent trading coaches and mentors over those 24 years, such as Stephen Burns, our friend Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. In the course that I teach you everything that I've learned from all these great traders, these 4 great traders that I just mentioned, and all the things I developed over the last 24 years. So I've had really good success with my clients. The course is 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, so it's a total of 15 hours one-on-one teaching and training from me. Kind of the format of the course is the first part of each session I teach. The second part, I ask you questions. I have you teach it back to me, and we do a lot of chart study together. And I'll ask you, what's the best trade here? Why is it the best trade? Is it a good risk to reward ratio? Does it have the best confluences of signals? Where's your entry? Where's your exits? Where's your stops? All that kind of stuff. So I just think one-on-one trading is the best way to go. I think it's the best way to learn. And so if you're interested, what I like to do is I like to have a Skype call initially with the prospective student. It's totally free, and I promise you there's no pressure from me. I hate that myself. I just want to meet you, learn a little bit more about you, your trading and your challenges, your goals, and it's a great time for you to ask me questions, but I promise you there is no pressure. I just want to see if we're a good fit. All right. If you're interested in possibly having that Skype call with me, just reach out to me. You can send me an email. The email's in the description of this video, or you can also send me a message on Twitter. So anyway, look forward to hearing from you. And also, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button. It does help build the channel and grow the channel, and the channel has been growing nicely. So, the little thumbs up button does help. So if you have a half a second before you click out of here, please just try to remember to do that. Hit the thumbs up for old Greg. All right. So let me take a look here. Frank looks like he is in Snap. And I assume, I guess I shouldn't assume. Miko, are you in Snap as well? Glenn says options expire 3rd Friday of every month. Tomorrow. Looks like the option boys are squeezing the bears. Could be. Definitely could be. Okay, so Frank bought. Hemigal says, okay, I will look into then, no problem. Yeah, I think it's close to an hour But again, it's on my YouTube channel. The list is right below in the description, and it's a whole hour specifically on V1s, V2s. Once you watch that, Hemigal, if you have any questions, just let me know. I mean, I'll just take you through this real quick. A V1 or a V2 is a rejection of the previous day's low. See how yesterday we had this low? Do you see how today we went lower than the low and then closed above the close? That's the key. It's a false breakout of the previous day's low and reverse back up. And there were a lot of them. Here is a V2. See, a V1 is where you have a bar and then you have a washout of the bar and then it closes above the previous day's close. This one washed it out but didn't close above. If it closes above the next day, then you have a V2. So here's day one. Day two washes out day one but doesn't close above day one. So that allows it to be a V2 if the next day closes above day one's close. So this is a V2. And what did we just look at? Johnson & Johnson's a V1. All right. Kamal bought USO. All right, Kamal's on there. And XLU. I'm guessing at that price, Kamal. But it's in the realm, right? You're with Kamal. MA's with Kamal on both trades? All right. And then USO. Oops. Okay. Pincy & Co. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I was Googling V1s and Greg's videos popped up. I watched that and loved it. That was 2 weeks ago and I've been coming back since. Oh, thank you. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you watched that video on V1s, V2s. Hemigil says, thanks Pincy & Co. for that positive review. I'll have to check it out. Great. Wiener Dog. I am out of J&J. Made an error. Thought it was 359 and it was 358. Okay. All right. So we'll take Karen off the board there. So that looked like it was pretty close to a break-even trade. David's in Snap as well. Boy, a lot of people on Snap now. So David, and I don't know if Miko, I put my order too low and it got away. Ah, shoot. Okay. Well, you can live vicariously through our trade. To the good or the bad. Wiener Dog says, must be leaving, so hitting the like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good to talk to you. Hope we finish our lesson soon. Miko, oh, okay, we got that. Nice, thanks for that. Zach says, hey Greg, work has had me busy, so the last 2 days, but catch me in the end. Hope you are well. Thank you, sir. I hope you're well as well, and I'm glad to see that you're busy out there with work. Wow, what a rally back today, huh? My gosh. So just a real quick recap here on my current positions. Higher low V2, here's day one. Hemigal, you've noticed, here's day one. Day two washes out day one, but does not close above day one. But then day three does close above day one's close. I will buy this here. My stop on this is halfway below the washout bar, right about there. Chewy, I bought with a V, well, I guess technically it's a V1, but it's more of a better V2. Bought this here. My stop is halfway the washout bar, which is, I guess that's a little more accurate right there. But actually, that dovetails nicely with this half over here. So close below here or a close below the 50 RSI, I will get out. But that one's still positive. Johnson & Johnson, bought that yesterday with the V1 yesterday, but I sure like the V1 today, much better than yesterday's V1. But I will continue to use the stop of halfway of yesterday's bar, or close below 50 RSI. SPY had the overnight loss on the SPY, but must keep moving on and take the signal when it happens. So I will sell this first thing tomorrow. Silver had a wonderful day on. This has just been a monster trade so far, and very happy to hit the 2 profit targets there today. Twitter tested that stop, tested it 2 days in a row, tested down here, tested it here, back up. So far that's fine. Why do I have Apple here? Oh, I had the intraday trade on Apple. So we'll get rid of that. And then lastly, SNA with the V1. Here's day one, Hemigal. Day two washes out day one, closes above day one's close. Also closed above the 10, the 5, the 20, the 50, bullish engulfing, closed above the 50 RSI, which is also good. And it went under 50, over 50, which I like. Glenn was right. It did reject the 50-day EMA. So that is, one negative there, but we'll see, right? And my stop on this is going to be halfway of the washout bar, right about like there. So that's it. Have some positions. Majority of them are profitable, I think, other than down a little bit on Twitter, and that's it. So, all right. All right. Miko says, I need to improve end of day execution. Yep. Yeah, we can all always definitely improve somewhere, huh, Miko? Bing He says, Baba has the 520 crossover. Does it? Did it cross back over? Oh, you're right. You are definitely right, Bing He. So that would have been a valid trade there with the 520 crossover on Alibaba. But I had my hand full and looking at these other positions, but that's okay. But that is a good signal. If we back test that, let me make sure here. All right, here's etfreplay.com. I am using this by permission, written permission. Google from etfreplay.com. They said I could show it. So here's Alibaba, the 5 EMA crossing back over the 20 EMA. You can see buy and hold here, 131.4. I'm sorry, using the 520 approach, 131.4, buy and hold only 119.4. So the return was better with the approach, but look at the drawdown. Much less than just buy and hold. So yeah, that is a valid crossover. Okay. Let's see what's happening after hours here. Chewy's up 42 cents. Ooh, that's good. Silver's up a penny. SNA is even. SPY is up 8 cents. And oil is up 9 cents. That's pretty good. So, really good day today. Didn't look so hot this morning. Not so hot tamale, but looks a lot better now. Well, I think we had a good group today. Let's see if I missed anything else here. Okay, Frank is there. So if anybody took any other trades today, please let me know. Or if you have any updates, if you want to get them on the board, let me know. How do we finish up here for Binghe? Okay, so down on Abbott, but well off its lows. AGQ, that's Kamal with the big win of the day, 5.6%. CRM, Glenn took off a half of CRM because it opened up under the 10. And then work, he had a beautiful day there, and he no changes there. Nathan, I haven't seen Nathan for a bit, so I don't know. I didn't see Nathan here today, right? We didn't see Nathan. All right, I'm going to take Tilray off then. And Kamal and MA bought utilities. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, we had a nice V1 here. Hemigal, if you're watching, previous day we had the low. Today we went under the low, back over the yesterday's close. Two things here. We have to wash out the low, but we have to close above the close. So we have a V1 here. We have a bullish engulfing bar. And on top of that, what we also have is we have a false breakout to the downside. So today we had a false breakout to the downside of yesterday's bar, but also today washed out yesterday's range and reversed back over with the bullish engulfing as well. So yeah. I mean, a lot of reversals today. I mean, obviously, we're down 300 and go up 300. I mean, come on. Okie doke. Well, I'm glad the live stream didn't drop, knock on wood. Okay. Well, listen, if anybody has any other questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I am going to put on my hiking boots, go for a nice hike today up in the mountains, and be appreciative that I had a nice screen day today, right? Hemi says, I am still here. So is that more confirmation then? Yeah, that's really what it's about, Hemi. The reason V1s work well in V2s and false breakouts from previous lows is that here we're in this base, this range, we're moving sideways, we broke to the downside and reversed back up. The reason that's important and it's good information is that the market just told you it tried to go down here and didn't like it, right? It's like you and I sitting in front of a bathtub. Sorry, that sounds weird, right? But I'm like, hey Miguel, is that water hot? Would you please put your toe in there? And if you put your toe in there and it's super hot and you pull your toe out and you're like, then I know not to go in there, right? You were the guinea pig. But if you put your toe in and go, yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, then I put my toe in. It's the same concept here. The market put its toe down here and did not like it. And so I'm like, now I feel better taking a long position here because the market already showed me. So this is a false breakout from this previous low and reversal. That's telling you that. But a V1, V2 is also telling you that, where you have a low, today went below it and closed back above it. Doesn't mean it can't come down, but it's just good, valuable, recent information. Bing He says, does BXP look interesting? BXP. Well, let's see. It's a V1. Let's see how low it got today. Yeah, it looked like it went under 30 and over 30. Bing He. That's pretty good. It went under 30, over 30, along with a V1. You know, it would be better if it closed above the third ATR channel, but, you know, that's, you know, Quad Racer, if you're out there, that's what we're talking about, of a confluence of indicators. We went below, we had a V1, Hemigal, right? Here's the low. Today we went lower, closed back above the close. We also went under 30, over 30. So we had two signals of rejections of lower levels. We rejected previous day's low. We also rejected under 30 and back over 30, and it gives you a good risk to reward ratio. On the weekly, let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, again, this is a different time frame, but look, no V1, but you see how we today went below the low and reversed back up? That's a false breakout to the downside on the weekly. So this is a good confirmation, or a good combination of indicators of rejections on two time frames, both on the weekly with the rejection of that previous low back in March, and then today with the under 30, over 30. Yeah, I like that a lot. You know, of course, your stop's going to be under 30 RSI or below halfway the washout bar. Hemigal, so where's a good place to get in it? Well, when I have a V1 or a V2, I generally get in at the close. So if I was going to take this trade today, it was a V1, I would get in at the close right here, right at the end of the day. You can do it intraday if you want to, but I just prefer to wait for confirmation at the end of the day. Quad says, still here, got it, good. Kamal says, I like XLU on the weekly. You know, it's always important to look at things on multiple time frames. You know, there's people that just buy on the daily, and there's people that just buy on the weekly, but I always talk about looking for a combination or confluence of indicators on multiple time frames, because if you get a trigger on the weekly and the daily, that means you have people buying on the weekly and the daily. Again, it's just more buyers. Yeah, I like XLU on the weekly because, from what I said, we made the low, we came up, we retraced about halfway of the up move, so 50% Fibonacci kicks in. And in addition to that, you know, we have the 200 days still below, right? I mean, people that bought here, once it got up here and started to go down, sure, they're going to take their profits because they made a lot of money. But now, I mean, we could have a V1 on this if we go up tomorrow, but it's hanging around 50% Fibonacci on the weekly, so that's good. And then you have this trigger here on the daily. Does it mean it's going to go up tomorrow? Absolutely not. We all know that, right? We never know. I don't care if you have the best trade setup in the world. You have 100 indicators lining up. There's no guarantee it's going to go up. It's just that the more indicators you have, you have to look at trades and sample sizes. You know, if you took this trade here that Kamal just talked about on XLU 100 times, you know, you're probably going to win more than 50% of the time. You're probably going to win, 60, maybe 60 times out of 100, but there's still going to be 30 or 40 times that you're going to lose, even with the most perfect signals. So just like Vegas, you know, they don't win every deal of the cards, or every roll of the dice, or every roll of the roulette ball, but they win more than they lose. That's all they care about. And that's the same with trading. Kamal says 200 day on my XLU chart is $54.86. Mine's 51.54. I wonder. See here, show unprices unsplit. If I change this, so see, you're not accounting for dividends. See when I change this, how it goes to 54.86, Kamal? I'm adjusting for dividends and splits. That's why it's different. Otherwise, we would have the exact same. Now, just because I use that doesn't mean mine's right and yours is wrong. You know, I personally think if you have the option in your charting to adjust for dividends, it's the right move. But not all charts can unadjust or adjust for dividends. So in that case, just stick with what you have, right? Just be consistent. All right, everybody, listen, just let me leave you off with please go out and try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or a hello, or give somebody a call maybe that doesn't have a lot of friends or something. Just give them a call, let you know you're thinking about them. It might make their day, right? Let's just try to do something nice for each other once a day at minimum, right? Go out and do something nice. Go out and do something nice for an animal too. That would be an added bonus. Right? So, all right, I'm going to get out of here, go for a walk. I appreciate everybody coming today. Katie says hi. That's my German Shepherd. She told me earlier, hey, have you been saying hello to everybody for me? And I was like, oh, no, I wasn't. So anyway, she says hi. All right. Interesting day. Big reversal today for sure. So hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you could hit the thumbs up button if you remember before you get out of here. And like I said, you know, if you're interested in doing lessons with me, the one-on-one lessons, just reach out to me. I think you'll enjoy it. So have a good night. Be safe. Be good. And tomorrow is the last day of the trading week. So it should be interesting. Hope to see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.